Hi everyone, my name is Jessica and this is my channel, Painting and Prayers, where I talk about everything around face painting. If you are a brand new face painter trying to get into the business, then this is really the place for you. And if you're an old face painter who has been in the business for a while, maybe you're here looking for new designs that are super quick to do at events, because you know when you're at an event, sometimes your line can get 8 to 10 kids long, and when those times happen, you really need something quick to go to. I love to make designs that are super fast and super simple and super easy to do for anyone, whether you have artistic skill or not. So today I'm here talking about mostly to beginner face painters, because I was there at one point. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I have been since I had my 2 kids about 5 years ago. And now that my kids are about school age, I'm trying to get some extra income to bring in my spare time. And one of the ways that I do that is through face painting. I've been doing it for about 2 years now. And it can be hard when you get started. It can be really hard at the beginning, especially when you're starting from a point where you have no extra income, you have no extra money in the account, and you're really trying to do things in the cheapest way possible. And sometimes that can seem like a huge mountain that you have to climb, because you have to have supplies, you have to have paint, you have to have brushes, and you have to be able to utilize things in a way that's most cost effective for you. So today I'm going to talk about a cheap and affordable Amazon face painting package. Now, this is not considered professional face paint. It's labeled professional face paint, but it's about half the price of normal professional face paint. And I just want to talk about how you don't have to completely break the bank to get started. You don't have to sacrifice either and get the cheapest paints you can find and have zero quality and not be able to use them in an effective way. So today I'm going to review and talk about this face painting kit that is found on Amazon. Right now, as of this video, it is currently $26. It has 10 split cakes, 1 strokes. So there are 2 kinds of split cakes. There's the wide ones that are better for sponges and things, but there's also the 1 strokes that you're going to use with brushes. And these are the ones that I use most often when I'm painting. So it has 10 of these 1 stroke split cakes, and it also comes with a plain black and a plain white. This kit also comes with 4 beginner brushes, a 3/4 inch brush, a little filbert brush. They don't have sizes on them, and these aren't the greatest quality. They do fall apart after a while, and on one of the previous packs that I've bought, the handle actually broke off. So I still use it though, because they're decent little brushes. And then it has these 2 round brushes, a liner brush, which is like a size 1, and this regular size round brush, which I think is close to a size 5 round brush. And they're decent little brushes. They do the job if you've got nothing else. It also comes with 5 stencils. I really only use 2 out of this kit, but it's a decent start if you're starting from nothing. So it has this one. I don't know if you can see it. It is a mermaid scale, fish scale one, and I use this all the time for mermaids when you're doing like fish tails or just like a fish design or a shell with some mermaid scales on the bottom. You can use it in a lot of ways. This one that has different sized dots, this is a really good one to use if you are doing a superhero mask. You can put this in a couple of spots just on top of the mask in a slightly darker color, and it makes like the mask look like it has texture. It also comes with this one, which is a mermaid and a dolphin. Now I'm not gonna lie, I haven't used this one at all. I don't like using stencils if I don't have to, so I tend to avoid this one. This one is like an alligator skin, snake skin type one. Again, I don't use this one very much, but I know a lot of face painters do like to add some texture to their animals when they're making alligators and snakes and dragons and things like that. And then this one that's just kind of like a filigree. It's got swirls and dips and all kinds of things. Now, I don't use this one because these type of designs I usually do by hand. And this one tends to get really busy and make the face look, I don't know, muddy would be the right word. So that's everything that comes in the kit, and some other supplies that you might want that I typically use at any event I go to. Of course, you want a spray bottle with water, some kind of cleaning cup. I usually have 3 cleaning cups. I keep one dirty, I keep one clean. So I will clean the brush first in the dirty water, and then I have a center one that I put a little tiny bit of Dawn dish soap or alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol in, and I'll swirl it in that to get all the germs and anything off of the brush in case you come across a kid who has a runny nose or they're sweating real bad or whatever. You don't want to spread germs. So I'll clean it in the dirty jar, and then I'll clean it in the solution jar, and then I'll clean it in the clean jar before I start on a new kit. These little finger sponges, they're pretty cheap. You can get them at almost any craft store. You can get them on Amazon too. I haven't priced them on Amazon, but you can get them at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, any of those type of places. They're really big for like scrapbooking and stuff, and these come in handy a lot. I would get at least 1 gel glitter. Now, I like this one because it is iridescent. It has blues and purples and pinks, and it's a really good one to use all around. It pretty much matches most designs, and usually with glitter, girls are the ones that are going to gravitate towards wanting glitter more. So their designs tend to be more along the lines of blues and purples and pinks and girly colors. So this is a real good starter one to get. This one is actually from the brand Kraze, and you can buy Kraze on Amazon. You can also buy it from a website called Just Paints, and also facepaint.com. So if you're going to use this as your starter kit, the one thing I would recommend on buying separately, paint wise, is a plain black cake from either Kraze or Fusion Body Art or Tag even, because the main thing that I don't like about this kit is the black just isn't dark. It's just a really washed out kind of dark gray, and you cannot get those crisp black lines that are really needed for a lot of designs to make it rounded out and finished looking. But if you're going to use this as a starter, it really has a lot of variety. It has plenty of split cakes here that are usable in many different ways. You can do animals, you can do snakes and dragons, you can do mermaids, all the standard type of face paints you can really get done with this kit. And so this is what this video is all about. I'm going to show you 3 designs in this video that are pretty standard designs that I use all the time, using just this kit and the materials that came with it. Nothing else. I'm not going to use my normal brushes. I'm not going to use any other stuff. Just the items that I talked about previously. I'm not even going to use the stencils in this one. I'm just going to use finger dauber, black, the water, of course, these 4 brushes, and this palette. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 masculine designs. I will have a part 2 of this video next week where I will talk about 3 standard feminine designs that you can do with this same palette. And for just a preview, today we are going to do a dragon, a snake, and a dog. So for the women's feminine girls type ones for the next video for part 2, I'm going to be talking about how to do a standard mermaid tail, a unicorn, and a butterfly. So stay tuned for part 2 if you want to see those designs, but it will be the same concept using this exact same palette. So if you're just getting started and you have absolutely nothing else, you can still make a wide variety of designs. You can still get some really good face paintings done, and you will have some really happy kids. You don't have to break the bank to get started. And the main reason I say that is because the more professional paints that everyone tends to use, I'm talking Tag brand, Kraze, and Fusion, for this same size palette on those 3. For Tag, okay, so like I said, this one has a black and white, and it has, how many? 10 split cakes. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. This has 10 split cakes, a black and a white. So for Tag, for 9 split cakes in this size palette, it's a little bit bigger, it is $99. And it does not come with brushes, and it does not come with stencils. For a regular sized palette that comes with 12 plain regular colors, that's one single color pans, just like this black one, but it's the whole rainbow. That one is $47 under the Tag brand. And this is still half the price of that. So for Kraze, for this size, the one they sell like this, it does not come with black and white. It's just splits, and it has 12 split cakes on it. That one is $45. And for the one that comes with the black and white, it is $60 right now. And for Fusion Body Art, you can get a palette for $65, and it comes with 6 one-strokes across the bottom and 3 split cakes across the top. Those are the bigger ones that you can use for sponges and stuff. It does not come with black and white. None of these palettes come with brushes, and none of the other ones also come with stencils. So this one really is the best bang for your buck if you're just getting started and you don't want to spend too much money. Again, this one's $26. I would link it down below, but right now I'm having issues adding links to my videos. So just remember, it is Bowitzki. I will write it in the description. I just won't have a link there. And this one, like I said, can be found on Amazon for $26. All right, let's get to the designs.
So using our palette, we're going to start out with this green to yellow split cake. And we're going to use our 3/4 inch brush. Make sure it's loaded at least halfway up the brush with paint before you start painting. And your paint should be a pasty texture, not too watery, not too thick. If it's thick, it will skip, and if it's watery, it will drip. So we're going to add this simple curve around the eye to make up the body of the snake. Now we're going to make a large peanut shape connected to the body to be the head for the snake. Using our round brush, we're going to start with our black. And if it's a brand new palette like this one, I like to use the other end of the brush to make an indent, a little well, where you can spritz your water and make the correct consistency you need to paint with. I'm going to start outlining the head and outlining this little bump we added for the eye. And then we're going to add in our mouth. And I had to go over this line several times to make it dark enough to see, because the black on this palette is just not very vibrant. We're going to add these lines to create the belly of the snake, and then outline the back of the snake. And I'm just adding some dots here to kind of mimic snake skin. Now we're going to add in the nostril. And using a finger dauber, I'm going to spritz it with water and use it to remove paint in the area that we want to place the eye. And using our filbert brush with this yellow color, we will give the eye color and outline it and give it a pupil shape. For snake pupils, I usually do the slit in the eye as a lightning bolt shape. And then using our smallest liner brush, we're going to start our white paint to put some highlights. Make sure you add the highlight on the eye, which really makes it look complete. And then a little snake tongue. And that's our snake design. Now for a simple dragon design. We're going to start with the sunset color from the palette and make an S curve over the eye for the dragon's neck, and a hump over the eyebrow to make the dragon's back. and then another S curve to simulate the dragon's tail. Then I'm going to make these straight lines where I want the dragon's wings to just be a guide. And using our smaller filbert brush, I'm going to make the shape of the dragon's head. I'm going to start with this little flag shape and then add a bottom lip and a jaw, leaving a space for the eye and some horns on the back of his head. And then just fill in any gaps. Now back to the wings, I'm going to make these curved shapes to connect them together. And I'm going to do one on the outside and one about halfway up on each wing. I'm just adding this little piece to connect it to the body. Then using our round brush, I'm going to add these spikes to the tail and a pointed shape at the end just to finish the tail off. Back to our filbert brush, I'm going to use the lighter yellow shade from the split cake and fill in the top outer side of the wing. And then switching to the darker red color, I'm going to fill in the bottom part of the wing. I'm just going over some of the lines to make sure they're still there. Then using our round brush and the yellow color, we're going to fill in the eye. Now switching to our liner brush and the black, we will just add in some of the details to make it look more finished. Just putting some lines here and there. You do not have to outline everything. Now I'm going to finish off the dragon's face by adding in some lines that accentuate the nose and the horns, creating the nostrils and the mouth. And then I'm going to go over the eye and give him a little pupil. And now with the same liner brush, I'm going to add in some highlights with the white. Then switching to our bigger brush, we're going to use this split cake that looks like fire with red and orange and black, and I'm going to create some flames around the dragon's mouth. Just going over them and then adding in some of the darker color back in so that the flames can really be more defined. And then I'm going to add that highlight yellow color. And there you have it, a simple dragon. Now we're going to make an easy puppy dog face. Using our 3/4 inch brush and this brown tan split cake from the palette, I'm going to make 2 large V shapes upside down over the eyebrows. This will be the puppy dog's ears. Then we're going to make this little half moon over the center of the eyebrows to be where the puppy dog's forehead is, and a little highlight underneath the eyebrow and the eyes. Now we're going to make these little swoops on each cheek to be the puppy dog's fur. And I'm just going to blend those together so they're not so harsh. And I'm going to cover the nose and flip the brush back and forth so there's a shadow on each side of the nose. And now this is going to be the puppy dog's mouth. And I'm going to switch to white with the filbert brush and just fill in some of the areas and blend it with my finger so that the inner parts of the face are more highlighted. Now using our round brush and the black, we're just going to go over the outline of the whole design. The hair, the ears, little fur on the sides of the eyes and the cheeks, outlining the puppy dog's lips, adding some whisker spots, finishing up the lip mark, and connecting it to a small little puppy dog nose. Now I'm adding in some spots because I think it's cute and I like puppy dogs with spots. I'm just freehanding it, but you can use the stencil if you prefer. And using our filbert brush with a red to black split cake, I'm going to create the puppy dog's tongue and outline it with black. Now using this blue color and the round brush, I'm going to just put some slobber marks next to the tongue. Then with our liner brush and our white, I'm going to go through and just give everything a quick highlight. Make sure you put a shine mark on the nose and the tongue because those are going to be wet and they're always going to have a shine mark. And there you have it, a simple puppy dog face.
So that's all of our designs for today. The second half of this video will be posted in a few weeks, part 2, which will have all girly designs. So to sum everything up, after trying this palette, Bowitzki, I believe I said it wrong earlier, Bowitzki, I will again have it listed below the video in the description. These are my personal pros and cons about this palette. So first, the pros. It is a cheap palette. It is very affordable. It comes with everything you need. You've got your basic brushes. You've got your basic stencils. Comes with the 5 stencils. And you've got the 10 split cakes that are all a good variety, and your black and your white. And that is an all included in the kit. The variety of colors makes it to where you can do a large variety of designs, everything from any part of the spectrum that you can think of. It's decent quality for what it is, for the price that you pay, especially compared to a lot of other cheaper palettes and cheaper paints that you can find on Amazon. My cons for this palette are, the main one is the black. It is so dull, it looks almost like a gray. And I really do prefer to have those really dark, crisp lines on some designs. So if you're going to buy this palette, again, I suggest you buy another just plain black from one of the other companies, whether it's Tag or Fusion Body Art or Kraze. All of those blacks are much deeper, much darker, and much easier to use. Another thing about this palette is I live in southern Texas, so it's really hot here. Even with the humidity and everything else that we have, this palette dries out really fast in the heat. So I have problems with this one just drying out after one brush stroke. And every single time I go back to the palette to refill my brush, again, needs to be completely re-spritzed with water or whatever. And I go through water very quickly on this palette because you have to use so much keeping it moist. And also another big drawback from this one is it does leave some slight staining on certain skin tones. So for people like me who are super, super pale, I have to use the lightest foundation that you can find, and I don't really tan at all. So on my type of skin, it's going to leave pink and red aftermarks, and those aren't really that big of a problem, just as long as you kind of give a warning to the people that you're putting it on. If you notice that the kid you're putting it on has slightly lighter skin, you might mention to their parents that there could be some staining. It's super easy to remove. Just a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a cotton pad or a cotton ball will take it right off. If that's not an issue for you, then this is a really good starter palette from Amazon. Again, it's affordable and it is a great place to start if you are trying to get into the business and you don't quite have enough resources to buy some of the more expensive paints yet. Just give it time and then you'll make some money back and be able to buy better paints in the future. Or if you're just a parent who wants to be able to face paint at your kid's birthday party, or your church is having a fall festival and they need someone to try to face paint, this is a great palette that's really cheap and really easy to use. If you liked this review, leave a comment down below in the comment section to let me know that you would like more reviews like this, or if there is a specific face painting product that you are thinking about trying but you haven't tried because it might be too expensive, or you don't want to bite the bullet on a product you don't know about. Also leave a comment below and I will try them for you so that you don't have to waste your money. Let me know what you guys want to see. Thank you for joining me today. If you like this video and want to see more like it, or you just want to find some inspiration or fast paints to use at future events, then please consider liking and subscribing to my channel for more face painting goodness. And I'll see you next time.